Welcome back to Strange 4. Today, I'm going to do some catching up in presenting an episode that was originally supposed to be aired last October, and that's Sideshow's 1/6 scale Harley Quinn exclusive. Sideshow's second crack at the classic Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn costume. And if you know anything about the channel, you'll know that Harley Quinn is where I started, or at least my take on the figure. I ordered the exclusive version specifically to get the extra head and revisit the wonderful world of 1/6 scale doll kit bashing, so look for that episode in the future. The first thing I'm noticing right out of the box is that the illustration has Harley holding a pop gun pistol, which this figure doesn't come with. This is a pet peeve of mine. I really dislike it when the illustration doesn't represent the figure or the accessories. Beyond that, it's nice packaging, about what you would expect with most of Sideshow's shoebox-style boxes. Companies like Hot Toys and 3-0 definitely run circles around them when it comes to presentation, but this is also probably where Sideshow is able to keep the prices down to a certain degree. Inside the box, we have the body articulation and care chart you find with most Viking-style bodies. And before you ask, yes, the body is anatomically correct, like most TB League stock bodies. Though the scene was only a few seconds long, I really would like to see Hot Toys do a classic costume Margot Robbie figure from the first Suicide Squad. But being how Hot Toys is mostly taking marching orders from the mouse these days, I don't think that this one is likely anytime soon. Inside the box lid, we have some comic book panels, as well as a few extras outside the box, like the Joker yelling Harley. I do really like the fact that Sideshow put embellishments here. Now, I actually pre-ordered this figure on release, and have been sitting on it since before moving from Washington to Massachusetts. I was initially going to review this one before reviewing the Mondo 1/6 scale Harley Quinn, but in a comedy of errors, that one ended up missing a head, and to add insult to injury, this one is missing her baseball bat. So both of these reviews ended up going on the shelf until replacement parts could come in. Fortunately, a fellow Instagram user pointed me in the right direction towards a cheap yet official replacement baseball bat, and Mondo did do right by me by giving me a little head, a replacement head. No untoward sponsorship perks here. But like I said, no bat. And since I bought it several years ago, I had no way of getting a replacement directly from Sideshow. So I guess there's a lesson here. Open your collectibles and check them, as it happened with both Harleys I pre-ordered from two separate companies. Now, what makes this the exclusive is the addition of an unhooded head. Everyone sees things differently, based on upbringing, personal experience, preconception, and so on. But in my eyes, this head sculpt doesn't really look much like Harley Quinn, but rather a middle-aged woman who likes to order sandwiches from Panera and has complex opinions on GMOs as well as which Trader Joe's is best. Though she's smirking here, I bet in a minute she's gonna want to talk to the manager. Not terrible, just confusingly pedestrian. Here we have the crotch grabber stand, which always sounds like an unused Giger monster, and where the baseball bat isn't. Now again, this is not because I purchased it secondhand, but is rather a mistake directly from Sideshow. Confused at first, I actually took a minute to review the footage to see if the bat fell out during the unboxing, but it wasn't there from the first moment I lifted the lid. In the box, we have the rather standard, yet highly detailed giant mallet, which has a metal handle, which makes it feel like it'll hold position well. We also have two item-holding hands, in addition to the two fisted hands that come attached to the figure, two open-palm jazzy hands, one pointer finger hand, and of course the doll itself, which immediately feels much less fragile than Sideshow's previous Harley release. And I'm also happy to report that the faux leather feels much more sturdy than most doll costume pleather outfits. Though it's sat in the box for several years, it's been open for the last 4 months, and has not displayed any flaking or cracking. And that's even after a lot of extreme poses, which you will see towards the end of the video. If you're really familiar with TB League silicone bodies, you'll know that they have a complex armature inside, which gives a near-human acrobat range of motion. And the armature on mine feels tight and holds position really well. The tailoring on the suit is fairly impressive, as it moves with the body without bunching. Though the costume is the high point on this, one issue I have with the Jester head sculpt in this one is that the teeth are set a little further back than they should be, giving the impression of either her having cotton balls in her mouth or that she's a character from the live-action Cat in the Hat movie. This definitely doesn't live up to the head sculpts of the previous release, which were really interesting and definitely unique facial expressions. I think sculptors too often try to parallel the Joker grin with Harley, but a subtle smirk often works far better for this character. I don't hate either of the included heads, they are just slightly uncanny. Now for the pose gallery. I really wanted to put this figure through its paces. seeing how far the costume and body would go when placed in both pinup and acrobat poses. And this is where the figure is truly great. From the expressive hands to the well-tailored costume, this is definitely the figure to showcase the classic Jester outfit, though the only figure that nails the classic cartoon version is definitely the Mondo 1/6 release, which I will be, of course, reviewing next. Whether you love her or hate her, Harley Quinn has definitely smashed her way into the lexicon of pop culture comic book characters, having started not as a comic book or movie character, but instead a hyper-stylized henchman in a film noir cartoon series. Harley was just one of those characters that transcended the medium and bled into the entire property, which makes me wonder if the creators of Batman the Animated Series knew what they were handing the next several decades of pop culture fandom. Not just another character in the rogues gallery, but an icon with visual and name recognition on par with the titular heroes and villains she was originally written to play second fiddle to. As far as high-end posable figures go, this one doesn't quite live up to the quality of Hot Toys, Queen Studio, 3-0, or Blitzway, but since none of them are making Harley Quinn figures with a tailored classic costume, she stands as the best in that right. And though I don't quite like this one as much as the very 1920s-inspired first Sideshow release, I do definitely think that this one is worth picking up, especially if you're a fan of the original costume. That being said, the price point for this one being just around $200 is fair, but beyond that I think I might suggest the Mondo version over this one. What that one lacks in a tailored outfit or superposability, it definitely makes up for in accessories and cartoon accuracy. But what do you think? Is this one of your favorites, or is there another I haven't touched on? Which Harley Quinn outfit do you think best represents the character? Let me know in the comments section. In the end, my complaints are that it doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories, and mine was missing one of the few accessories it does come with, and the two portraits are a little off, with the Jester portrait being a little like Cat in the Hat's live-action Thing 1 and Thing 2. But here I think that the positives outweigh the negatives, wherein the body is really posable and the costume is perfectly tailored. The accents such as the frills around the collar and cuffs are spot on, and the leather costume colors match the plastic shoes and hands perfectly. Overall, I had a better time posing this one than many other recent releases from bigger companies, as the figure lends itself to dynamic and expressive poses. So I'll definitely proudly display this one on the shelf next to my other three, and I do look forward to building a new figure around the extra included head. I'm thinking maybe a nurse Harley Quinn, but let me know in the comments section what kind of outfit you think would best suit the pigtail head. Now, as we come to the end, you can see that most of the last shots are her with the bat, as I ended up ordering an official stock bat from an eBayer who went above and beyond the Call of Duty when the first one I ordered had been damaged in the mail, replacing it almost immediately, no questions asked. So shout out to Toy Anxiety AZ. You saved the day and made the last part of this review possible by keeping extra Sideshow inventory in stock. I would also like to thank the Ogsfather over at Collecting Weekly, who also went out of his way to send me a link to said missing bat when he heard of my plight. After all that, I hope you all enjoy the now baseball-ready Harley, a girl who loves a very different kind of clubbing. As you can probably tell, I'm trying to get things back on track and will be doing something very special on my 100th upload, which is just 3 episodes away. Those 2 episodes before it will be the Mondo Harley, as I mentioned earlier, and the Parth Wolfspider G.I. Joe Classified figure. Also, to those who are subscribers, please let me know if YouTube is suggesting my content. I'm trying to tweak things so that the episodes are more easily found, but the almighty algorithm does not seem impressed with my leave of absence over the last couple of months. And though I was sick, it cares not for my human weakness. As I said before, a lot of fun stuff planned for the future, so stay tuned. In final, I hope you enjoyed this quick look at Sideshow's classic Harley Quinn, and as always, remember, never stop collecting.